Hey everybody, Jeff here from SW Customs. Another small project here for the fall. This is the fenders and cowling off of a pocket bike, which is, if you don't know what a pocket bike is, it's basically a miniature street bike. I got these parts from my neighbor. He brought them up, dropped them off. I'm gonna get ready to give them a wash, get soap and water in the bucket. Okay, I got everything all washed up. Besides there being like broken pieces, there's a lot of major cracks in every piece and holes, and even in here there's cracks in here, cracks around here. There's a crack on the side right there. This is going to take a bit of work. Yeah, another crack over there. The back's missing a whole piece here, another crack, all kinds of gouges, lots of work to do. Looks like you're going to take a trip to the hardware and get a small can of fiberglass resin. I think I'm going to try with probably this piece to start with, is where the crack ends here, drill a small hole to keep it from cracking. That's what you would do if you were like welding some cast or something. I'm going to use that same theory on here. Drill another little hole there, and then support it, and then just grind the line back so it's about as wide as my fingers here, the gap between my fingers, and then just lay a fiberglass and cloth or mat in the crevice to reinforce it, and then once that's hardened, do the same on the back side, and then smooth it all up. Okay, I got myself all set up here. I clamped the piece. I ground the plastic back. Now this plastic's as brittle as it is, it's really soft, so it got really gummy. I got a couple strips of fiberglass mat. I got my gloves. I took a paintbrush and I cut half the bristles off so it's a little stiffer for dabbing the resin in there. I got my resin from the hardware, and I poked the end with a thumbtack. And I got not going to mix up very much. I got some of these little measuring cups. They're only an ounce, so I'm going to mix like half an ounce at a time. Okay, it's been a couple days. This front fender, it seems to be pretty secure. Come out real nice. Needs a bunch more work, but it seems to be structurally sound. I carried on and got this piece here. Got the tab that broke off. It's bonded back on again to the inside around this. Kind of looks like a bullet hole from a pellet gun or something. Looking real good. Cleaned up the main cowling here. I had to grind back some spots around here, drill some more holes, got it all cleaned up. I gotta grind all this back down. But yeah, the fiberglass seems to be sticking to the plastic pretty good. To pop this off, and just used this little strip of plastic, piece of like margarine tub lid or whatever to back this with, so that the fiberglass won't actually stick to it because it's too smooth. And so it's just kind of like just kind of hold the shape here. Now I get this popped off and get some more coats on it, and everything should be good. I'll show you where I'm at once I get this all ground back. Okay, I got everything all roughed in with 2-inch roll lock. Yeah, really rough. Everything's all looking real good. Got this this tail end repaired. Looks real good. All the other pieces here where there was cracks all filled. From this point here, gonna switch over to some 80 grit on the DA and get this knocked down so it's a little smoother, and then start skimming it with some fine filler. I don't see any reason to use Bondo. This main cowling itself has a lot of stone chips and imperfections in it. I'm thinking the best thing I can do with it is probably just sand the whole thing down to the base with some 80 grit and prime the whole thing, and then guide coat and block it out. Okay, I got this all sanded down with 80 grit, mostly with the DA. I finished off the other areas with paper on a block or wrapped around a piece of Scotch-Brite, and left some of these lines behind here. Didn't want to like dig into to areas and start changing body lines and stuff. I want to try to keep stuff the way it was. Once it gets loaded up with primer, I'm sure it'll be fine. I got that set up on a makeshift little stand there. There's a fender there. He's sitting on a pail. Got to wipe all these down with a tack cloth and mix up some Dominion Sure Seal and get her coated up. Okay, oh, your backlit, sorry. Before this gets 100% dry, I want to spray on the guide coat, which is just simply flat black, cheap as you can find, aerosol. I'm just looking to spray a little mist on. I got a lot of trash in this, and that's from the fan on the compressor. When the compressor came on, blew a whole bunch of shit across here and got in there. So I'm going to have to remember that at paint time, that I have to come up with a different solution for that. Be in a different spot, whatever. Idea is I'm getting this garage cleaned out because I want to do some more work. Air compressor may end up in a small hut on the back corner, or in the back corner on this same side of the garage. Hard to say, but anyway, simple guide coat of some aerosol. Let that sit till tomorrow, and then it'll be ready to either dry or wet sand. I'll probably dry sand with some 180. See what I got. Fix up all the imperfections and give it a second coat of primer. Okay, put some red glaze on spots that I could see has some little pinholes and repair spots, miss spots, I should say, on the pieces. I got a bucket with some warm water, a piece of 180 wet, and a square of Scotch-Brite to wrap paper around. And I'm gonna start blocking these down, and getting them smooth. Get the 80 grit scratches out and look for more imperfections, and then they'll get another coat of primer. Alright guys, got this piece done. Looks real good. It's nice flat 80 grit scratches, look like they're gone. Got a few little little cut through spots, no big deal. It's gonna get a second coat of primer. This piece almost finished. There's a couple little spots in here and there, but overall come up real good. This spot right here, put a little bit more red glaze in that. It's sitting a little low. Overall, it's the little dab there. You can see that little dot. That's where that little pinhole was. Red glaze got it all filled in nice. It's coming along, looking real good. Yeah, I touched that up. I still got all the body to go here, all this piece for another day. When I get that all sanded down, then I'll show you all these parts again. Alright, I got all my parts all blocked down. I put a little fill in there. They're pretty smooth. Got rid of all that, all the 80 grit from the DA. It's come out nice. Had to do a little red glaze in here and on the back fin here. So I might have to touch that up a little more before I shoot the second run of primer. So this is all looking good. See our little fender piece looking good. I got little heater running there in the corner for the moment to get some heat in here. It's pretty chilly. When I do this next run of primer, I'm going to be using the same primer, but I'm going to reduce it because it's fairly thick. I'm going to reduce it probably about 20% with reducer, so I get a nice fine film with too much orange peel in it. And then I'll have to guide coat it and block it down one more time before we shoot some color and clear on it.